we have a disappointing update on the new Babylon 5 reimagining. Welcome to Scitrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. As I've told you a few times now, we are getting this Babylon 5 reimagining, and the original creator, J. Michael Straczynski, has been on Twitter once again. He's given us an update, and it's not the best news. Unfortunately, the project is currently on hold. But why it's on hold is particularly disappointing. Now, as you guys know, if you are regular Sci-Trekkers, I've been telling you about how Warner Brothers have been having conversations with J. Michael Straczynski about where Babylon 5 should end up. Now, I've told you that actually it's probably not going to end up on the CW, even though that is possible because they do have first dibs. That there was some conversations about it being on HBO Max or whatever hell it's called this week. And I've also told you that Apple TV Plus were also interested in maybe buying the project. That Apple have a really good working relationship with Warner Brothers already. They co-produce Ted Lasso, for example. And that actually Apple would love to take Babylon 5 on. And with them being really the only cash-rich streaming service going at the moment, they're probably one of the few customers that can actually afford to do this show justice. But why is it on hold again for the second, third, fourth time? So if you don't know what's going on in Hollywood at the moment, it's difficult. If you're British, you're used to everybody going on strike at the moment, but I don't know what that's like in the United States, except the Writers Guild of America, the WGA, is threatening to go on strike. They have done this before. Back in 2007 to 2008, the strike actually lasted for nearly 4 months. This actually caused a massive surge in reality television, or the scourge of television, as I like to call it. We ended up getting things like The Bloody Apprentice rather than stuff that was actually written and thought through. It is fair to say we do not want another writer's strike, but we are on the absolute precipice. The 1st of May, in a couple of days, is actually the deadline. Now, we have been told in the last couple of days that the WGA have had a proposal from, this is a bit of a mouthful, the Alliance of Motion Pictures and Television Producers. Let's just call them the Alliance because it sounds evil, and I think in this situation, they possibly are the evil ones. For legal purposes, I'll say allegedly. The Alliance has given their final proposal over to the Writers Guild, and the Writers Guild have actually sent a counter proposal. But it should be said that the WGA is ready to strike. They've already sent out all the information to their members on how to do it and what the rules for the strike are. And as I said, this has happened before. Last time, it was over basically the internet. There was a big disagreement over what at the time they called new media. It was content that was written on emerging digital tech, they called it. Basically, streaming services, the internet, YouTube, and blah, blah, blah. Now, the WGA really held on and were completely victorious in that strike. They know at the end of the day that Hollywood is crippled without them. They are literally the start of every project. Without the writers, there is no movie, there is no television series, except for reality TV, which I think we can all agree isn't really television. Let's just pretend it doesn't exist. Maybe that's just me. So the WGA know they've got this alliance by the short and curlies, and they are ready to squeeze. Now, I hope there is no strike because it really does cause lots of problems for big projects we're looking forward to. I'm going to talk on Sunday live about another project that this potential strike is actually holding up. But why is it holding up Babylon 5? And why is it basically meant that the project is currently on hold? Well, obviously, J. Michael Straczynski will actually be writing the series, but he does have to put his pen down because he is a member of the Writers Guild. It would be very, very difficult for him to actually produce any written material while he is technically on strike. He needs to show an element of solidarity. Warner Brothers have really now got to throw all of their eggs into their current baskets, as it were. I'm not sure that's a saying, but we'll run with it. They have to really concentrate on the projects that are already up and running. They have to get those past the written stage. They have to get the scripts, etc., and everything done so that they can move forwards with those during the possible strike. If they can get enough of the written word done, they can still move forwards. And at the end of the day, the studios won't have to actually close. So lots of other projects that we are desperately looking forward to are being put on the back burner. They're just saying, look, until we know what's going on with the WGA, we can't afford to take our eye off what's already in production. We can't afford to start something new. So JMS is waiting again. Now, I actually think this project is still a very distinct possibility. I actually know there are a couple of companies, as I said earlier, lining up to potentially buy it. We have something new and exciting coming out that JMS has already tweeted about and teased a little bit. Now, I actually know what this is, but I can't say. But I can tell you guys, you're going to be excited about it. It is going to generate a fair bit of interest for the Babylon 5 fans and hopefully maybe a few new ones. And maybe just give the executives that little bit of a push they need to make sure they don't forget about the Babylon 5 reimagining. Now, there is a dark cloud, however, with this potential strike. I've heard several whispers over the last couple of months that a lot of writers actually believe that the producers, this evil alliance, allegedly for legal purposes, want the strike. That they actually want this to happen because they want to use it as an excuse to cancel lots of projects. They want to decrease budgets. And again, they can use this as an excuse to do that as well. Streaming services in particular are struggling right now. They desperately need to cut costs, but they want to do it while still saving face. And one way to do that is blame the writers. Now, actually, this has also been reported in Deadline and Hollywood Reporter and a couple of other places. But I've actually spoken to a couple of writers that are working in Hollywood today, and they genuinely believe this is the strategy from the alliance. Now, I genuinely struggle to believe it because, the writers are their bread and butter. They are the foundation that everything is built off. And if the alliance is playing this game, it's a dangerous game, to say the least. But guys, get into the comments and tell me what you're thinking. Do you actually believe this alliance would play such an evil, maniacal game with the Writers Guild of America? And actually, do you fear what might happen if the Writers Guild of America do go on strike once again? Because as I said last time, we got a load of reality TV shows extended, renewed, or, just created to fill the gap. We're also going to be getting loads and loads of repeats again. And we all know how we feel about too many of those. Also, one more project on the pause. Do you actually believe we're ever getting this reimagined version of Babylon 5? Or do you think, it's had its chance? We're 18 months down the line now, JMS. It's probably not going to happen. Get into the comments and tell me exactly what you're thinking. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out. And please go over to patreon.com/Scitrek, where you can see most of our videos first. And for a small contribution each month that really supports the channel, you get to see it without the adverts. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.